Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Betzer. I'm the Vice President of Student Services and also the Athletic Director. We're excited to have everyone here tonight for the Sports Awards program. We're here to honor our student athletes, and often we forget that these students have to juggle their personal lives, their academic lives, their work schedule, and also deal with coaches that sometimes forget that they have all that going on so that they can compete in athletics at the college level. And to be an athlete in college is a very unique challenge because as a college student, your full-time job, 40 hours a week, is supposed to be a student. And then you add these other responsibilities. So we're very excited and honored by our student athletes. We have some of the highest GPAs amongst our student athletes in my time here amongst this group. Here at the college, we're very proud of our athletics. We have tremendous support. For those of you that have not been here as long as I have, the football field, we did a lot to invest in upgrade the football field and continue to work that field to make it the field that it is today. And just recently, like we haven't been even trained on how to operate it, we've installed the new scoreboard for wrestling and basketball events here. And the way we're able to do those things is tremendous support from our alumni, foundation, and the college itself. Champion for athletics is our college president, Mr. Pedro Rivera, and I'll ask him to come up and say a few words now. Mr. President.
Good evening, everyone. We just said we got a new big screen back there. I thought you'd be a little more enthusiastic. Let's try it again. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. And Dr. Metro wasn't lying when he said we're still learning how to use it, so you'll continue to see the welcome sign, spinning around and around until you can change that graphic too. But we're so proud and we wanted to have it on for each and every one today. First, I'd like to take a moment to share how honored I am to be here with all of you today to celebrate athletic excellence and leadership. It's great to be part of this traditional event held to recognize the achievements of our athletes, our teams, our coaches, and our athletic department. I'd like to begin by commending our students. Thank you for your commitment to your own personal growth and success, as well as the commitment and dedication of your teammates. You work hard each and every day, and your leadership and sportsmanship serves as an inspiration and model for many others here at the college and beyond. Your performance as individuals and as members of teams have earned regional and national recognition this year. And that is incredible. And I'm confident, and as I speak on behalf of everyone here at the college, in saying we're extremely proud of you. Let's give them a big round of applause. And of course, we wouldn't have the success of our students. So at this time, I'd also like to recognize our parents and caregivers, families, and friends here in the audience this evening. Thank you for everything you do to support these exceptional students and their teams. You are their foundation, their support system, their #1 fans. We see you, and we know that they're so grateful of you. So let's give our families and support systems a big round of applause. As I'm sure you already know, our coaching staff is deeply committed to supporting our student athletes through their respective seasons and beyond. Our coaches establish competitive schedules, coordinate practices, and develop skills. And they design strategies to prepare our teams for competition. Our coaches travel to schools across the state to meet and recruit future Bulldogs. They serve as members, coaches. You work with our staff to help our students stay on track. You believe in the mission of this college and to ensure its legacy lives on as our students graduate and pursue paths and bright futures. This is a tremendous responsibility, and I'm grateful to you for continuing to step up to the plate and make an incredible impact and difference. For all that and more, accept my gratitude and the gratitude of the college. Let's give our coaches a big round of applause. Admittedly, I'm not just the president of the college, I'm also one of the biggest fans. I enjoy watching our incredible teams compete and share with great pride in all that you accomplish on the field, on the court, on the mats, and various other surfaces each season. Congratulations on all you have achieved, the impact you've made, and the legacy you've created. You have took a lot to get here, and you have a great deal to look back on and to be proud of this year. We are absolutely proud of you. Before we begin the presentation of awards, please join me in recognizing Dr. Chris Metzler, Stacy Caldwell, and all of the dedicated staff and volunteers in our athletic department who make our athletic programs possible. You're a heck of a team, and I'm incredibly grateful for all that you do. Let's give them a big round of applause. Often, really smart individuals like Dr. Jackson like to end their remarks with a quote. So there are lots of successful athletes who started impactful and inspirational quotes on teamwork, hard work, strength, dedication, grit, and courage. But I'm going to close with a quote that serves as a great reminder about all of your experiences together here at Thaddeus. A trophy carries dust, but memories last forever. We're certainly so proud of all of you and all of your successes, but the memories you've made together over the course of this year are priceless and will always be a special part of your lives. The people who surround you this evening are undoubtedly important core parts of those special memories you get to keep forever. Congratulations on all that you have and will continue to accomplish. And keep making memories together. Thanks again for inviting me here this evening. Enjoy the rest of tonight's program.
Thank you very much for those words, and I want to echo my appreciation for the athletic department's core, and that's Stacy Caldwell. She does a tremendous job. The coaches all know it because when they have questions, they usually go to her first. She figures out the answer and then tells me, and I reiterate that to the coaches. So she does a great job, Stacy, for everything you do for the athletic department. Thank you. Also, Tony Miller, retired, and you wouldn't know it because he's here all the time, does a lot. Athletics, when I came here and people asked me about running an athletic event, I say, well, to do a basketball game, you need about 10 people to do stats, and we have 1. To run any event, to do everything you need to do, you have all these people doing scores and scoreboards and all those kind of things, helping the officials. And Tony and his student workers and volunteers do it. So, Tony, thank you for everything you do. Another person we have to acknowledge is our athletic trainer, Justin. Anyone that plays the sport knows that the athletic trainer is also the counselor, the psychiatrist, the psychologist, and the father figure, mother figure, whatever you need, the athletic trainer usually has to fill that role, available really 24/7 for our athletes. So Justin, thank you very much. I also want to acknowledge and thank the various members of the Board of Trustees here, the Alumni and Foundation boards, and also the home board. So I want to just thank you all for coming. And last but not least, we'll hear from the head coaches, so I won't say much about them, but our assistant coaches. Here at a college of our size, with what we have to do to make a program run, the assistant coaches, not only are they coaching, but they're recruiting, they're coordinating, they're washing clothes, they're putting out equipment, fixing equipment. So all the assistant coaches if you could just stand up and get recognized, and thank you for all you do. So we'll now get started recognizing the individual teams. And our first team is our wrestling team, Coach Macedas, if you could work your way forward. Again, this year we sent several athletes to districts, and they did very well and earned spots to go to nationals. I think for the first time, maybe your time here, Coach, we've had a smooth transition from place A to place B. We didn't lose people on flights and didn't have breakdowns and all that kind of stuff. So, Coach, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you. As always, it's good to be here among our athletes, coaches, and staff. And I'd like to thank Dr. Metzler, Stacy, Dr. Rivera, Justin Bullard, Tony, and staff for keeping the athletic program up and running and for helping Thaddeus students grow and improve. And I'd especially like to thank my assistant coach, Tommy Bragg, whose enthusiasm and encouraging nature and expertise were a big help over the last 2 years. Several times this year, I've told my team that this has been my favorite team to coach, and since I've been here since 2014. Number of reasons. Number one, after 2 years of COVID, masks, vaccines, and social distancing, it was nice to have a season where we weren't quarantined out of matches. Number two, we probably won more matches this year than we have for a couple of years combined. Number three, I've been hoping for 2 guys per weight class ever since I started. It hasn't quite happened yet, but my prayers were almost answered this year. We came close to that at the beginning of the year. In fact, at one point we had 7 heavyweights. Never were they all in the room at the same time, but we did actually have 7. And but I think the real reason this is my favorite team is because of the qualities of the wrestlers themselves. They've been overall very positive, encouraging, hardworking, coachable, good-natured, and possessors of great senses of humor. So if you bear with me, I'd just like to share a little bit about each guy. Garrett Renninger, a 133-pounder, very knowledgeable and skilled freshman who made weight from the beginning of the season onward. And as the lightest guy in the room, he always had to work out with guys bigger than him, and he didn't complain about it. One of his main workout partners, we almost never started practice without saying, "Where's Dan?" Because he'd show up just at the last minute. He was also a very knowledgeable wrestler. Then number 157, Luke Billig. I've had him for 2 years, one of the hardest working guys I've ever coached. He'd spend hours in the weight room, and he usually helped lead the long distance run, which everybody hated. Ethan Litchard, 165, another very knowledgeable wrestler who's been with us for 2 years. He wrestled through a number of injuries, and was usually wrestling above the weight that was ideal for him, but he didn't complain. He went out there and gave some knocks as well as taking some. And we had Robbie Reinhardt, another enthusiastic freshman. We had Chance Hawkins, who also wrestled above his weight several times, because we had a lot of sickness this year, and a lot of guys, couldn't show up for matches, and Chance was filling in at usually weights above his. Bobby Walters, another hard-charging freshman who pushed any practice partner that he had. His family also designed and printed T-shirts for us when we went out to nationals, which we really appreciated. At 97, we had Liam Feaster, who was a freshman and wrestling higher than his ideal weight too. It seems to be a pattern. He was kind of a spiritual leader on the team. He wrestled some really tough guys. At Millersville, he wrestled a 5th-year senior from Lehigh. If any of you know anything about wrestling, Lehigh is another dimension above us. He took that guy to the end of the match. We had another heavyweight, Harrison Schoen, who was quite the character. Definitely wasn't a fan of running, but he got a lot of wins. And finally, we had Fred Pick, who our heavyweight, who's here tonight, and who also made it to nationals. A quiet and humble leader. We had several other guys who kind of came and went. Were there for various seasons, and they all made a contribution. So I'd like to get to our awards. Our most improved wrestler for the last year, for us this year. Last year he almost won 2 matches. He won 1 at districts, and this year he won 4 times that many matches. Again, he's one of the hardest working guys on the team. I think he only missed one practice the whole season, and that was because his mother was having surgery. So our most improved wrestler for this year is Luke Billy. We have a special award. I don't think he's here tonight. He told me something came up. He couldn't be here. Chance Hawkins. We'll call it the Extra Mile Award. He was a very faithful, dependable teammate. He's an Army veteran. Kind of a quiet guy, but a leader and a great example for all the other guys. And even though he didn't get to go to districts or nationals, he stayed and worked out with everybody, providing workout partners. In wrestling, you're pretty much limited to what kind of partner you have. And if you don't have a partner, you're not going to be very good. And Chance stayed, even though he wasn't competing, for a couple of weeks and worked out with our guys. So we were going to give him the Extra Mile Award, but he couldn't make it tonight. Our most valuable MVP. I mentioned him earlier. Solid wrestler, very knowledgeable. He also had the privilege of getting us started each competition because he was the lightest guy on the team. Very good wrestler. He's coming back next year, thank goodness. And his name is Derek Branniger. Finally, I'd like to talk about our Coaches Award. Goes to a wrestler who's been a positive presence on the team for 2 years. Last year was our manager. And thankfully, we'll have him for yet another year. Coach Bragg and I believe the team sees him as a leader, partly because he worked through a number of injuries without complaint. In fact, sometimes we only found out about his injuries when Justin, the trainer, told us about them. He never complained. He usually gave away 40 or 50 pounds in every match. But yet you never know he was that outsized, because he'd go out and wrestle hard, no matter who he was wrestling. And our Coaches Award goes to Brett Dick.
Thank you, Coach. As president of the Eastern Pennsylvania Athletic Conference, part of my responsibility is to defend Pennsylvania when we get into the all-region awards. And we had a Zoom meeting for basketball this year, and believe it or not, I thought a brawl was going to break out. Because after the voting took place, Pennsylvania had one player represented. And at the end of the meeting, they said, well, what does everyone think? And I spoke up and I said, Pennsylvania is well represented on these three teams. Right away, all the Jersey coaches and ADs started firing at us, like out of control comments, like yelling at me. For the basketball team, you'll appreciate this. The first coach to speak up was Northampton's coach and said, whoa, wait a second, back off. Of course, Coach Stone was next to me, like, should I say anything? Like, you want me to go in here? So it's kind of crazy, but we became quite a unified group in Pennsylvania in basketball through this year because they really picked on us. Now, what I will say to give New Jersey credit, Brookdale won the national championship for Division III, but we fought them hard in Jersey, and this year we were one shot away from winning the first round of the tournament. So Coach Stone, if you come forward and recognize the basketball team.
goals that hopefully, if I accomplish these 4 goals, I know everything will be okay. The first one was just getting up here. The second one is getting down. Don't curse and don't embarrass myself. So I think if I get all that done, we'll be all right. First and foremost, gotta thank, there's so many people think, I know I'm gonna miss somebody. But, first, President Rivera, I see Dr. Jackson here, alumni, thank you guys for your support for everything you do, for not just basketball, but for all the sports. Tony Miller, who, I don't know how they keep the 50 to come back, but hopefully they allow you to actually retire. My money says you'll be back next year, we'll still be having the same conversation. But thank you for always doing your best to help us with whatever we need. I truly appreciate you, the working relationship that we've had over these 5 years now. So thank you for that. Obviously, Dr. Metzler, thank you for everything you do for our program. And it's literally, you're literally on both sides, not just from an athletic standpoint, but on the student services side. So knowing that you have our athletes best interests at heart, but you also have our students best interests at heart. That means a lot to us. Justin, I mean, what else can I say about you? I'm sure our players will, pretty much echo this, but we wouldn't be able to do some of the things that we've been done over these last 2 years without you, keeping our guys healthy. And hopefully they get you some help. I'm just putting that out there publicly, so maybe somebody will hear it. But then of course we gotta go to I know Dr. Messer's the AD, but the person who really runs the show is Stacy. Thank you for everything you do, answering all those annoying emails from me. If you're getting them from me, I'm sure you're getting them from everyone else. I don't know how the athletic program would look if you weren't as involved as you are, and as good at your job as you are. But to our players, thank you for working as hard as you can. Thank you for allowing me to coach you. To hopefully I've been able to teach you something that will help you off of the floor. Realize that everything matters. So all those annoying conversations that I had with you, like, look, this has nothing to do with X's and O's or, offense or defense. Hopefully 5 years from now, you're like, well, maybe not 5 years from now, but a couple of guys, maybe I should be 10 minutes early for this. Maybe being on time isn't really being on time. Those little things I hope that you guys will be able to take away that'll help you not only as basketball players, but as young men and future husbands and fathers and successful business people, whatever you want to do. Again, one assistant isn't here, but to my other assistant, Maine, thank you for everything that you do for our players, our program, myself, you and Tyler, with me taking on this new career. There's no way I would have been able to do it and do this without what you guys have been able to do. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much. But for our awards, he wasn't able to be here tonight, but that went to Marcus Bennett. Marcus was, Marcus is an old soul. He was so mature, and he really, whenever I would get out of hand, like I would like be going down the line, and like I really can't say nothing to Marcus because he literally did everything we asked him to the best of his ability, and that's all you can really ask for as a coach. The next award we got was our, I guess you call it a special award. We're calling it the Perseverance Award. And that goes to a young man who we tried to recruit after our first year here. So our season was over, and a month later we had this kid from Philly come in, came up with his dad and his brother, and we sat for a little over an hour, and we thought, hey, we'll get him next fall, and it didn't work out. And the next thing you know, we got hit with the pandemic, and then we kind of lost him. We didn't know where he went, and then he reaches out to our assistant and said, hey, I'll be there in the fall. And if we get all excited, and then unfortunately, he's ineligible the second semester of his freshman year. And he could have packed it in, he could have said, screw it, I'm going home. But not only did he stay in school, he stayed and practiced with us every day until our season ended. Got his grade where he needed to be, and this year had a great year for us. Was so important to our success, and even throughout the year had his own ups and downs in times he could have really said, I'm done. I know we had our battles daily in practice, but as much as he gets credit for all the things he's done, him being able to keep pushing, stay the course, trust his own process, run his own race, that's why we feel he deserves this award, and that goes to Chris Sherman. Our next award is our Most Improved Award, and for us, it was kind of weird, like who we're going to get Most Improved to. And it's very unusual that you give Most Improved to a guy who started every game in his career. But we saw it last year. We would do some things sometimes in spite of him. This year we were doing things because of him, and he was literally our engine. For lack of a better term, our little general. Namir Simmons. Last but not least, we have for Most Valuable Player Award. I think our guys know who this is going to. He was all-conference player 2 years in a row. He had some huge performances for us. As a guy who's 6'5", 6'6", probably, not probably, I think was the best shooter in our conference. Best shooter, I thought he was the best shot blocker in our conference. Had a game with 12 blocks this year, which is unheard of at our level. But I think this is a guy who basketball is his best basketball is still in front of him. I can't wait to see what you do next, what you come up with next. Wherever you go, just know I'm here. If you need anything, that's Multipurpose.
Thank you, Coach. I thought the MVP was the most visible player from the league because he's one athlete that I can text him or email him in like 30 seconds he's in my office. I think sometimes he's like hanging right outside my office because as soon as I do anything, he's right there. So great year. It's a real exciting team to watch to see where they go because probably in my time, this team evolved so amazingly and really set a foundation for next year, so very excited. Our next program we're going to recognize is our track and field program, Coach Taylor. And what I got to say about track this year is we had to get a bus. We have so many athletes playing track, and we had to change our mode of transportation, which is real exciting. And they have been in the top 10 in the nation all year, the track and field. So much so they get ADs call me and said, I didn't know you had track. What's going on over there? Now we've won multiple national championships, but this team is doing great things. So Coach Taylor.
We're game planning on how we're going to script the awards that we're giving out. There's many awards this year. I will say this season has been the most trying season, especially when it came to weather. We've been in the University of Buffalo where it's 60 degrees and then all of a sudden the temperature drops, wet rain, wet snow, rain, 20-mile-per-hour winds and everything. Did we ever expect this year at the first meet of the season and then have the past 2 meets or invitationals that we had attended have been canceled from lightning? So it's been a trial and tribulation, but I want to begin by thanking Justin, Stacy, Dr. Metzler, Dr. Jackson, the College Board of Trustees and their support, also my alumni family, and all the other important coaches that have given a shot in the arm to the track and field program. Last of all, I have to thank President Rivera. In his president's address, which was really cool, he acknowledged that our number 7 ranking in the nation. Well, President Rivera, since we've had these 2 cancellations of competitions, we've dropped to 8th, but we're soon to get back on track, and we will make up for that when we get to nationals. I also, last of all, have to thank the track and field team. Excellent group of young men and women. Yes, we have one lady on the team, and I will say one thing, a bulldog represents tenacity. Kylie Franklin has tenacity. She practices with the men every day and goes out there and competes with the best of her ability against Division I colleges, Division II, and Division III, 4-year colleges. And that's what we mainly compete against until we get to nationals, and it's an equal playing field against 2-year colleges. So I'd like the team to stand up. Don't be shy. Let's give them a hand. Thank you all. And before I address the boards, I also want to address what's very important. It takes a community, it takes a town to be able to coach a track and field team. Often, many times, and Dr. Jackson, thank you for your support. I missed you, but before I go further, many times, a track and field coach can be like a decathlete. You have to have knowledge of all the events, and you have a specialty in one. Well, it got to the point that I had to get outside help, and I've had this outside help going on for years. But my newest addition is actually my high school coach, Coach Bill Bowers. Please stand up. And then, I know she's quite bashful, but, you know, regarding her laugh, she's not bashful. But my cousin, Jill St. John Cypress, and please stand, cuz. And there's a special connection, too. There's a special connection there that her dad was actually an alumnus of the carpentry program here, Stevens Trade. So we're talking back in the day. So let's move on here. So the first award, MVP award, not only Josh DeVoe. So let's speak about Josh. On the way down, I'll talk about this. One thing about Josh is, Josh is very special, as you'll see later on. Think about Josh, he is a returning All-American. He had won the 800 meter last year, and he is actually ranked this year, and he will also duplicate that feat. So our MVP, Joshua DeVoe. Now, we talked about that Lady Bulldog, and we have to give her excellent credit. Well, one thing is the excellent award, Kylan Frankfurt. Kylan, please come in. Don't be shy like yourself. A first-year award winner. He didn't let the elements hold him back as far as his performance at the first meet of the season. Hunter Shaw, a 400 excellent award. Another Coach's Award winner, two-time national champion, meaning winner in the shot put and also winner in the discus. Returning, Levi Mayer. Coaches, you can all relate to this. You always have that individual on the team. May not be the talented one, but always is accountable as far as practice. And when you need somebody to do something for you, he's first in line to do it for you. Jonathan Logan, Coach's Award. So in conversation with Coach Robinson, this individual never sprinted in high school. And seeing his progress, especially in the 400 meter, it's just awesome that this talent hadn't been refined, in high school. Well, Coach Robinson has refined this. Isaiah Levinson, most improved. And last of all, we have our differences and everything. Tony Miller, I'll tell you what, thank you for all you've done and will do with Thaddeus College, especially athletic programs. And Coach Robinson, our partnership lasts forever. Thank you.
The aforementioned Coach Robinson will work his way forward here as we recognize the cross-country team. And it's amazing, but every year we just say they won the conference again, they won the individual championship again, they went to districts and did a great job, went to nationals and did very well. I tell everyone we are a cross-country institution here in Pennsylvania, and do a great job to Coach Robinson.
All right, our first award is our MVP award. Goes to, let me point out what, it's Josh DeVoe. This year, during national, he is All-American, and it was the first All-American in cross country, I would say, for the school in like 15, 20 years. This is what he did. He also got one for his Our second MVP goes to female who has done some stuff for us for the very first time. She won an EPAC, won regionals, and came in, by the way, he came in 13th, and Cotton Frankfurt came in 13th, which was weird that day. And she also was All-American. All right, our first coach's award goes to an individual that showed up to practice every day and worked hard, Matthew Maris. Our next coach's award goes to an individual who works hard and is very hard on himself, Isaiah Langston. Our most improved goes to a runner who sent me an email at the beginning of the year and says, hey, I run an 8:30 mile. So I was like, all right, no big deal. He comes out, and currently he is running a 5:22 mile. So he's done some hard work and he loves hills. Fernando Feliciano. I'd like to thank my assistant. Oh, he didn't show up, I'm sorry, but that's it.
You know, if you don't know a lot about cross country is really a team sport, and it's really interesting watching the team work and how they pace each other. Really exciting, and I know we do really good things in cross country. And for the first time ever, I had to call Mission and say, I know it's cool, but you got to get this one more athlete in for me. I won't bother you for another 15 minutes, but you got to get me someone in. So the first time ever, we had to pull that trick with cross country. So we're excited about next year. So last but not least, we'll turn it over to the football program, Coach Cincy. I will tell you, Coach makes his own football schedule, and when he showed me the schedule for the season, and I saw who we were playing for homecoming, I said, Coach, you don't do this. You don't play a nationally ranked, nationally known team for homecoming. You just don't do it. You're going to kill us. And he did it, and I'll tell you what, just a phenomenal year. Team did great things, and now we are known throughout the country, and our schedule really made itself, and it's even tougher than I envisioned it ever could be. So they do a great job with that, coaches.
Thank you, Chris. I'd like to say the same things all the other coaches said. Really appreciate administrative support led by President Rivera. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. I want to congratulate all the coaches that went before me and all of the players. I think in the 7 total years I've been here, I think that this is one of the best years that I've seen for all the athletic programs. So let's give a round of applause to everyone. I want to take the opportunity to thank all my players because we demand a lot. It seems so distant that we had our football season. It's only been the last few days that I've been preparing that I realized all the things that we did this year. What Dr. Metzler just said, this team this year really left a legacy. The guys that are leaving, the sophomores, have been Seaboard Conference champions 2 years in a row. So that's pretty darn special. Quite a legacy. Not only that, last year when they were freshmen, and that graduating sophomores a year ago, 21 out of 73 players were on the dean's list. This year, 15 out of the 76 players were on the dean's list. Quite an accomplishment. We have coaches that sit with players once a week. We call it our academic game plan, and we check their grades. We talk to them. We talk about what they have coming up next week. So it's a routine that goes on that I think has really supported academics, but it's really those players, those students that are getting it done. And I want to thank them for that. Our coaching staff is very good. One thing about being a football coach, the head coach, it takes a community. We need 10 coaches to get it done. We need coaches that are communicators, develop relationships, and are teaching life skills to all our players. We want to develop our players as people, students, and players. This past season, we had many of our players as Seaboard Conference champions. I'd like to read them off, and if they're in, please stand. Josh Johnson, offensive line, first team. Jude Brzezinski, Fred Hunter, Hunter Hughes, Kyrie Fuller Bryant, Jalen Johnson, Alex Romanowski, Steve Reynolds, Nathan Mick, Carl Valentine, Kaiser Gleam, Josh Gibson, CJ Signor, Waleed Bullitt, Steve Brill, Kyer Falk, Tremaine Brown, Jamar Calhoun, Mason Brill, Michael Massey, Kyron Gordon Bay, James McClinton, and Kevon Wright. Round of applause for those guys. Then our Seaboard Conference, the offensive MVP of the conference, Tyree Fuller Bryant. Please stand. Defensive MVP of the conference, Nathan Minnick. Please stand. Special teams MVP for the second year in a row, Alex Romanowski. Please stand. And unfortunately tonight we won't get to see him, but the Seaboard Conference Player of the Year, Steve Reynolds. Steve came to me yesterday. He had a death in the family. His grandfather passed, and I sent him a message today. We're all thinking of him, Steve Reynolds. In addition to thanking the coaches on our squad, this guy is, to me, part of our coaching staff. I've been around the block, you can tell by this old face. I've been at 4 high schools and 4 colleges. I've never had a trainer as that can heal our young men, do what's best for them, and build relationships on top of us. Justin Bolt, please stand. I'm going to give out some awards. In my 25 years as a head coach, I never gave out awards. I always thought that football is the greatest team sport in the world. What other sport on a given event can you have 50 different athletes on the field contributing, and all of them are so important? So it's very difficult to do this. The acronym PRIDE stands for perseverance, respect, integrity, diversity, and excellence. That is something that we talk about, that is something we look for in our athletes. And we talk to them when we talk academics on a weekly basis. We ask, when's the last time you had to persevere? When did you have to persevere? Have to fight back. And then the coach shares the same thing. So we're building that kind of relationship. But tonight we're going to give out awards based on that. As I look around the room, I see alum that probably lived that. A guy that is an extension of our coaching staff is here tonight as an alum. He not only is a special alumni, but he also helps recruit. And he also provides sandwiches for us many occasions on our away trip. Let's hear it from the alum, Phil Toohey in the back. Phil, and I stand up, please. Thank you for listening. I'm going to talk about our athletes that represent perseverance. First one is this young man who came here as a freshman, and as we went through the first couple of days, he came to me and said, Coach, I don't know if I want this. I'm a little confused. Well, he thought about it. We talked to him. Coach Hicks talked to him. And he persevered. Thank God he did. We're glad he did. He became the machine. He is a man that takes young athletes under his wing, and they go through a program in a weight room that is severely challenging. He has developed athletes sitting out there tonight in this room. Not everybody wants to work out with him because it's very demanding. Not only does he take that strength, but he brings it to the field. And he does the same thing. He's a special young man, without a doubt. Perseverance, Carl Valentine. Now, all these players are going to look that much better looking standing aside of me right here. No doubt about it. The next young man came to us as a freshman, and he oscillated back and forth, offense, defense. Never really made his mark. But he contributed. He was very coachable. Did anything for us. We went through the all season, and he was one of those guys who went down to McMillan's gym, developed himself, became bigger, faster, stronger. And he went to corner this year. Led the team in interceptions, did an outstanding job. He knew how to get it done. He persevered. Became all conference. Let's acknowledge Stephen Burrell. Carl's had opportunities to go on and play again. He's still has not made a decision. Steve is headed to Twin Valley High School, and he's part of their high school coaching staff. Respect. This young man is quiet, but he leads by example. he actually persevered because he had some injuries, but he never missed being at practice. He always supported his players. He always had the respect of his teammates. And when he was on the field, he played 70%, 60%. But when he was 100%, it wasn't any better. Two-time all-conference player, also a two-sport athlete. And when we had spring ball and he had track, we'd still see him 3, 4, 5, 6 practices, stopping by, saying hello, shaking hands. Great young man. I never coached a guy that had 2 pick sixes. The second one was called back. But he gets it done on the field, and he gets it done in the classroom. Let's acknowledge Josh Gibson. This man epitomizes respect also. He does everything to get the job done. He works 4 or 5 days a week. As a freshman, he worked, and he couldn't come to our organized weight program. But every morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, I hear clanging in the weight room. I walk over, and there's Tyree. This year, Tyree was our leading wide receiver, not only in number of catches, but yards after the catch. And he made some spectacular plays. The one I'll remember for a long time was under 2 minutes in the LDC game, touchdown catch, splitting the uprights. Awesome. During the course of the season, you always have some times where you need some strength and stability. He stood up. Coaches met, and they said, what he's doing is awesome. The next day, we introduced him to the team, and he became a captain. Not only because he deserved it, okay, but also because we needed it. Special young man. Going on to play at Eastern University. So he's going to delay going to work and play again. Let's acknowledge Tyree Ford Bryant. Integrity. This young man came to us from Moravian College, transferred. Thought, you know, I'm going to go get a tree. We're so happy he came to us. A quiet leader, but always trustworthy. Always the man that when he spoke, people listened. And when he spoke, he always spoke the truth. He could acknowledge what was going on with the team and then address it in his own way. And when he said certain things, people listened because they knew it was the right thing. Not only was this type of man, he also was a great defensive end. All conference 2 years in a row. I know that Tyree is more self-concealing than I know that Tyre is more self-concealing than self-revealing. I know there's times there were some bumps in the road here with injuries, and some bumps in the road in his own lifetime. But he always managed to stay on time. I said to the coaches at the end of camp when we picked players, picked captains, I said, had he not been injured for most of the summer camp, he definitely would have been voted captain. But it doesn't matter. A leader continues to lead, and that's exactly what Tyre did. Just the other day, I got a phone call from an outfit in Lehigh Valley. Water environmental technology is major, and I had the opportunity to talk to the man and say he's one of the greatest young men I've coached. You ought to hire him on the spot. Tonight he told me they offered me the job. How's your plan? Integrity for this young man, very emotional man. He wears his emotions right on his sleeve. He's emotional when it comes to the weight room. He's emotional when it comes to the classroom. He's emotional when it comes to the field. It doesn't matter. And he has matured over the last 2 years because he's learned how to control that emotion. He is one of the guys that the coaches go to in order to get the job done. If we want the team to feel us, if we want the team to be organized and know what we're doing, we reach out to this young man. Not only is he this type of leader, but he also is one heck of a linebacker. He has led the team in tackles in the last 2 seasons. That's amazing. And he'll be the first one to say it's because of these guys up front. Extremely humble. But if you want anything done, you get a hold of CJ Signor because he'll carry it out. Let's welcome to the stage CJ Signor. And we'll go through his Italian roots and say, Milagro. Following the line of the acronym PRIDE, the next thing is diversity. And Steve Reynolds isn't here today. He's the guy that, to me, is the man that is so diverse in many things that he does in his lifetime. He went to a D1 college to play football at Sacred Heart. Then that diversity came here. He played for Thaddeus Stevens. And now he's been offered a scholarship to go on and play again and get his bachelor's degree at Westchester University. His diversity shines through because everybody, no matter what the ability on the football team, looks up to him. At the end of practice, when we broke it down, and somebody said, who's going to break it down? The whole team would just go, Steve. Then he would step up and do his thing. Extremely humble, great player. As I said, the player of the year in the Seaport Conference. Steve Reynolds. We'll make sure Steve gets that. Excellence. Excellence. The first young man I alluded earlier, two-time Special Teams Player of the Year. Why is he excellent? He is somebody you can count on all the time. Anytime we needed a field goal, he got it done. He's going to lead Thaddeus Stevens breaking the record, setting the record for the longest field goal, 49 yards. He also kicked one at 47. This year, he changed the field in his punting. No doubt about it. Think of some of the close games we had at Sussex. He changed the field with 55, 60-yard punts. It was unbelievable. Giving the opposing team bad field position. He's not only excellent as a player, as a kicker, but he's excellent in the classroom. He was an excellent captain and leader, no doubt about it. And he always wanted what's best for the team. He lived it. We're going to miss him. Let's welcome Alex Romanowski. The last player is the defensive player of the year in the Seaport Conference. He too is excellent. Listen to this. He has an A in every place he's taken at Thaddeus Stevens. And I can say that with confidence because I went on the retention module today, and he has all A's right now. And the lowest grade is a 94. The rest are like 97. That's phenomenal. I had a young man come from his high school that will be coming here next year as a quarterback. When they visited, the family sat with me, and of course, Nathan Minnick's name came up. And the mother stopped me and said, I want you to know that my son was a 9th grader when Nathan was a senior. And he's the only boy I allowed my son to travel with in the car. So right away, you know that she respected him to the highest level. He also is an entrepreneur. He has a sneaker business. So anybody out here, I'm giving you some advertising, Nathan. Okay, if you need sneakers, he'll get you a good deal. See him, I think he said he has like 500 pair of sneakers in his shop at home. I just bought one off of him the other day. What a player. Fantastic. He came here around 197. Right now, I think he weighs 226. He might have lost some since football season. And down at McMillan's gym, the instructors down there pulled me over many a times and said, you know, pound for pound, Nathan Minnick would be your strongest guy. Now, don't tell Carl Valentine that, okay? I don't want anything going on here tonight. But he works. What a work ethic. So everything he does, on the field, off the field, is excellent. Nathan Nick. In closing, I want you to know that the leadership that we received from the guys that are leaving, and I'm not just talking about the guys that got awards, guys like Michael Massey, Jamar Calhoun, Josh Johnson, to name a few. Outstanding young men. It's quite a legacy that they're leaving, but those returning, you have a lot to work hard for to get to that level. And we're not going to let you fail. We'll keep pushing. Thank you so much for the opportunity tonight. Really appreciate having the opportunity. Family, thank you for your support.
Coach does a phenomenal job with the program, and really appreciate and look forward to the things that the football program will do moving forward. So thank you, Coach. This time, if I could have Coach Taylor and Coach Robinson come forward. Each year, we recognize 2 athletes from across the entire athletic department with 2 special awards. The first award goes to the athlete who represents contributing the most to our athletic program. Coach Taylor can say a few words.
The Stopper Award. That's a award that runs second to the Bev Locke Award for Outstanding Athlete. And this year's winner is Levi Mayer. I spoke earlier about him, that he is a returning national champion in the shot put and discus. And also Josh DeVoe, who we'll speak about later, is returning. This is the first time in the history that we've had 2 national champions returning, for another championship is the goal. Levi Mayer.
Like Coach mentioned, it's really hard when you have a season in the athletic department to identify one athlete as the top student athlete. And really it came down to, well, he played 2 sports and did exceptionally well in both of them. So to speak about that is Coach Robinson.
Okay, so now I'm going to gush about Josh here. First, last year when he won the 800, if anybody's ever been to a track meet, you hear everybody cheering for their athlete. Everybody's like, yeah. They go through the first lap, it's pedestrian, it's slow, and it's very, very slow. And I'm thinking to myself, man, they're just trying to give it to him. They're just giving him the victory. So second lap, I'm listening to the people behind me cheering, oh, yeah. He picks up, goes around everybody, all of this cheering that I heard going on behind me stopped instantly. Because he just took off and started sprinting. And then proceeded to come down the straightaway and started even going faster. So it was nice for us, embarrassing for everyone else. The second was when we went to nationals for cross country. The race started, he knows that he has to finish in the top 15. They started out, we're counting people. Before they go into the woods, he's in 42nd place. I'm like, oh boy, he has some work to do. They go through the woods section, come out, he's in 17th place with a half mile to go. The guy loves winning awards, but I'm like, all right. So he ends up coming in 13th, picking off all of those people. I never thought I was going to have a half miler when I was here. when he came here and he ran fast prior to coming here, I salivated like, oh man, this guy's going to the Nationals, I don't care what happens. So he's a consummate teammate. He constantly encourages his teammates, chirping in their ear while they're doing workouts. A lot of them complain, he talks too much, he talks too much. But he wants the most from his teammates as well as himself. So that being said, Josh, welcome.
So I just want to thank all the athletes, but most importantly, the parents, family members that are here supporting our athletes, because to be those behind the athlete takes a lot of extra trips back and forth to schools, a lot of extra time, allowing them to get caught up in their schoolwork, a lot of negotiating, a lot of pleading and begging. So I really want to thank the parents and family members for coming here tonight again to support your student athletes. Let's give them all a round. And to the special group of student athletes that will be graduating, thank you for all that you did. I echo the sentiments of our coaches. This was a unique year. Every sport had some tremendous stories and did great things, and a legacy has been left for us as an athletic department to continue what you established and grow the program. So look forward to that. So with that, that concludes the program. Outside, we have some light refreshments for you all to enjoy some fellowship. Look forward to next year. Go Bulldogs. Thank you for coming out. Safe travels home. Athletes, make sure you get your